David Simpson and the Remedy Project team. We're here today to have a conversation with a dear friend of mine who I met while incarcerated at MDC Brooklyn. He's here to have a conversation with us to basically validate, I would say, is the most important thing, the work we do and why we do it, how important it is, so that we can get a sense of knowing that what we're doing as an organization, as a body, as a group, as a movement, to change things in the prison system is valid and very much needed. When it comes to my experience and my knowledge in doing remedies, there might be folks who question my capability and whether I used to do that stuff or not. Erron, my friend Erron here again is capable of telling us or telling you guys, whether I knew what I was doing or what. So, this is for the benefit of the Remedy Project and what we do, to solidify what we're doing. All right. So we're gonna we'll let Erron introduce himself. We talk about where we met and that type of stuff. It's better coming from him, and then we'll ask some questions, as we see it fit to get to where we need to be. It's good.
My name is Erron. In November of 2018, I had to check myself in at MDC to spend 4 months of incarceration. Not knowing what to expect, I was nervous. I got booked in and I was led to a cell. In that cell, I met this gentleman. I didn't know who he was at the time, but then he introduced himself as David. We right away exchange or discuss which island you from. It's something that everybody wants to know, which island you from. So anyway, I said I'm from Grenada. He said he's from Trinidad. Not too long after that, my anxiety, my not knowing what to expect, my worries, everything basically disappeared. David to me was like a mentor. He was like a protector. He made sure that I'm on the right track. And if you see me the wrong place or the wrong group or sitting at the wrong bench, he would wait until I get in the cell and he would, hey, you don't do this, you don't do that. When it comes to remedies, well, at one point I even tell somebody, I'm talking to the lawyer at that unit we were, because he was there basically helping everybody. Everybody anyone that had a situation to deal an issue, David was the one that they come to. No matter what time of the morning, no matter what time of the day, David, when they would knock on the cell door, Trini, they will call him, they usually like to identify you based on the island, the country, the island you from. So they will call him Trini. And he will go out, never says no. He will go out and, you listen to them, and the next day or maybe the same night, if the computer is on lockdown, he's on the computer doing, filing the remedy and stuff like that. So, again, I don't think I could have met a better person in there. And that bond we created stayed with us from that time till now. As he said earlier, when he calls me, I'm there. When I call him, he's there. As far as humble, he's a very humble guy. Very, very humble guy. He tries his best to help out whichever way he can. Okay? Even if it means he have to do his own little research to help you in there, he will do it. I remember him having to tell me how to use the toilet. Not for him, but because other people, in case I have to go to another cell for whatever reason, there are some inmates that don't like you to use the toilet a certain way. And he prepared me in an event if I had to switch cells or for whatever the reasons are. So you don't get people do that for you in there. All right. So those are one of the things that I always remember. he would tell me, listen, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. The least you could say, you could listen, but the least you say is better, because people say things just to indict, get you into, suck you into saying things to lead you into something that's more than what you're supposed to. Over the 4 months from being locked up, it's like I was on vacation, because everything just came easy for me. Just meeting him on the phone. He will make a call for me if I'm not feeling well. He will go on the computer. He will even to make the groceries. He will help me fill the list out. When they come on to remind me, hey, this is commissary day. You have to fill out. You have to do. So yeah, I could not have asked to meet a better person. Yeah, I just could not.
All right. Anybody got any immediate questions? Because I got one or two that I could ask to give some more backup, especially for those of you who are looking at the training videos. I cover a lot of stuff, especially in the first 2 to 3, that a little bit of what Erron said kind of like supports what I've been teaching in those videos, and I want to just draw on that a little bit. So, anybody got anything else at the moment, real quick? No? Okay, nobody online. All right. So, Erron, in the videos, so I have training videos online, and I explain to the students and everybody that entering prison, I give them a sense for the first time of what it's really like entering prison. And you talked about your anxiety and your extreme nervousness and dealing with that situation. Is it safe to say, because you actually do have an anxiety issue, that there is very little help, support, guidance, or anything by the prison and or the administration in dealing with or assisting you with those issues? You're basically on your own until you met me. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's fair. There was nothing in place for that. A matter of fact, there was, as you may have known also, there was a nurse that refused to have me drink one of my medication the way in which I normally do it. So because of that, I was without that medication for any days that she's on duty. I would not have that medication. So there was nothing in place to really help with that situation. No.
All right.
Can I ask a follow-up question? Sure. Yeah, like what did on being booked and coming into the prison, what were you told? What did the NBC staff, correctional officers, did they tell you anything?
Nothing. Nothing was said to me, preparation or nothing like that. No. A matter of fact, the staff in there treated us at times as we were nobody. Yeah. There was incidents where we were given, there was a microwave which we used to prepare our food, and if one inmate would have done something wrong, everybody had to suffer because of that one inmate. They would take away the microwave. Mm-hmm. You literally have to go and beg sometime and ask or promise to do stuff that you're not supposed to do just so they could give you back the microwave. Yeah.
Right. So in those videos I talk about the person's condition, right? So Erron is a businessman, and he just had to turn himself in. And so on his mind, he has his family that he's leaving, how they're gonna do and how they're gonna manage without him, how's his business gonna fare and manage without him. He's entering a place that they're, whether we want to call them rumors or not, I think we know that they're factual. When you hear MDC Brooklyn, that's where you're going, you know that that's a horror show, right? That's what's on your mind. So you don't know what to expect going in there, right? All of these things. And then you're experiencing entering into that place, right? Staff is, like he says, treating you like you're nothing. They start calling you by your number, right? Mm-hmm. Which seems to be more important than your name, right? And they strip you of everything and they get you inside of there. And then there is no guidance or, no sense of a human being is being taken in here. Let me help this human being survive and or navigate. The staff doesn't do that, right? You're tossed into an environment now where everybody is experiencing the same things along with, with fear and other forms of anxiety and stuff. And they all gotta coexist. And it's like everyone has to survive. Some people do what they can to survive type of mentality, right? And so what Erron explained was basically because he came into the cell of me who had that knowledge and that understanding and who knew how to give this information and help, because that's what I've been doing all along, right? So when I met Erron, it was at the end of my bid. My time was winding down. I was in my last year of
2018. I came out in March of 19.
You left out after me?
Yeah, right after you.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I came
So that
out
was
first.
when you were coming. That's when you went back. November
No.
2018 was when we were.
No,
taking
when
that
I went
class
back, he
together.
wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
When I went back, he wasn't there. But he was there before. I was there with him before.
You
So
left
I
me.
him.
You left
I
me.
left him.
You left me in there. Yeah.
I left him.
I left about a week or two after you left, or 3 for the most.
And then you went back. No, but November 2018 was when we were taking your class.
Well, yeah.
So that was when you went to the halfway house and then you went back.
Yeah, but I was out in the halfway house before November 18th.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
halfway house for months before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, that's why I was able to give that guidance. So you could see from Erron, and then he has anxiety issue. So that thing was like multiplied upon him. What's going on, and so that's why a lot of people, when they reach out to you and they're nervous and they're all over the place, and a lot of these folks, Erron is a businessman. He's been doing business for years upon years. And you have lawyers and pharmacists and doctors and everybody, but yet when they reach out to you, you want to know, well, why do I have to structure this person's argument for a remedy? Why do I have to assist? It's because the tremendous stress and strain that they're under in prison, right? They have to worry about all these things, and then depending on where you're at. One of the other things, Erron, that you could talk on is when it comes, because we help with the administrative remedy process, on entering the prison. So in there, I talk about there's really no help or guidance or anything with the remedy process. Can you let us know when it is you first heard about administrative remedies and or needed it, and what was your experience like with that?
Well, the only time I heard about it is through you. I mean, I remember there was an incident where there was an occasion, I should say, not incident. There was an occasion where I needed to find out why my wife wasn't allowed to visit, and you were the one that prepared the paperwork so we could take to not the counselor, what's this that lady there, I can't remember her name. You probably remember her, the one that has a bad attitude. I can't remember her name.
Many of them got bad.
Right.
But we don't need to call her.
Right. But anyway, I could not face her. She had one of those attitudes where you just look at her and you just have to hold back, and you put fear in you as a person, So I had to talk to David, and David is the one that did it for me. And there was an incident again, or another occasion, where I was asked to go and do help out sanitation, and they wanted to not put me in the shoe, but they wanted to penalize me for not coming to school after the sanitation, the correctional, the CO is the one that told me, come and, you need my help to do sanitation. And again, David is the one that had to rectify that, put it in paper for me so that I could take to them so they could. So without David being in that unit again, I don't know. For me and the people that I know that I saw with him helping, I don't know how we were going to make it, really and truly. Yeah, and if I may add to that, there was another unit on the other side of ours where you are allowed to go in within certain period of time, and he would go over there and help out the same way. So he was always involved in helping or doing something. Again, as I said, I mentioned him as the lawyer of the unit while I was there. That's how much he was helping, you know.
Right? So as you can see, basically what he said there is no, like I teach in the video, right? They mention the stuff. I don't know if you did an orientation. At your orientation,
There was no orientation.
no orientation for you.
There was no orientation.
So nobody ever said anything to Erron about, oh, if you have a problem or if you have an issue, there is a remedy process that by policy you're supposed to use so that we can help you out with the situation, right? And that is the normal thing across the board in most prisons. The stuff is there on paper, but if someone who's knowledgeable in it, like myself and others who other prison lawyers or paralegals, don't point that stuff out to you and help you use it, the majority of the time, you can't, you don't. And if you get into a problem, or somebody just simply says, oh, you need to file a remedy or do an 8 or do a 9. And that's when you're wondering, well, what the hell? What do you mean? What is that? Right? So that's how important what we are doing is. We are solving that problem. Because if you notice the amount of mail that we are getting now, right, is because the word is spreading in prison that there's an organization of students who are helping folks with this process, helping them put forth their arguments, put forth their issues, and they understand that that's a big deal and that's a big thing, that everybody's heard of our 8 or 9 and don't know what it is, and they need that help. And so they're reaching out, right? And Erron is proof that what I'm teaching in the videos and what you're experiencing is real, right? No one ever taught him or told him anything, showed him anything about a remedy, and he needed a bunch of things done. And if it wasn't for me having that knowledge and understanding on how to do it, he
Well,
just not.
If I may add to this though, most of you guys would have heard it also. There were one time when we had no electricity or hot water for about a week or so. And when we finally got the hot water back, it seemed like, if I can recall, there was a line waiting to see him to help out with the same remedy stuff, because everybody was claiming, oh, they're going to sue, whatever it is. But, there was a line of guys waiting for him to help out. So, again, he did way and beyond what his calling was. But without him, life would never been the same for a lot of us in there, including myself. Yeah.
Were you there during the blackout?
Yeah, yeah. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I kept the light. I kept the light that somebody would have given me. It was in 2-string, and you could barely see. But that's all we had in our cell for as light. It was bad.
The battery light he's talking about.
Yeah.
So.
It was a bad experience. There's no hot water, no electricity.
And it was in like January, right?
Yeah.
So it was cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But
They gave us extra blanket on one time.
Yeah.
They tried to, but still I couldn't help.
yeah, you were just so Jomani Williams came to
Yes,
us.
right. Yeah.
And spoke to us.
Jumani Williams
Yeah,
came to your
Jumani-
cell?
Yeah. Him, the judges, and they eventually got in, those folks, and eventually got into MDC
Mm-hmm.
because it was out so long. It was already past a week, and the word had gotten out that they wasn't providing the things that they needed to provide. And so some of those folks were able to make it even judges, and Jomani Williams and so on. So, and I spoke to him at the cell and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did he say?
No, well, they were there to, make note and take record of what was going on. So yeah, Jomani's he's an advocate for prisons, for clean and healthy prison, human rights.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Jomani Williams is a human rights advocate. So he was on board with, making things humane for folks who are incarcerated, which is what we are about.
I do have a question. I don't know if this is formed perfectly or if this will make a lot of sense as I say it. But I guess as we go forward, what's one thing we should keep in mind, us as like college students, majority of which that don't really have maybe a lot of interaction our day to day with incarcerated individuals. What is something we should keep in mind as we're writing remedies or filing mail or anything like that?
She's basically asking
Mhm.
if you have any guidance for them, the college students,
Mhm.
on the work that they're doing on behalf of folks who are incarcerated.
Yeah,
She's-
and anything that you think, based on your experience, that someone who's helping people inside but doesn't have like a lot of experience, like has never been to prison, doesn't maybe know people who've been to prison, like things that like they should keep in mind while they're doing this kind of work.
I would advise you to listen to the individual. That's the number one thing. And try to always give them the right answer if you can. If you don't have it, don't speculate. Let them know you'll get back to them. Because just hearing the wrong thing could trigger them in there. They cannot remember they're in there and they need help. So a question was asked. If you cannot give the right answer, you just let them know, I'll get back to you, and do your research, and then you could respond to them in the appropriate way. Okay?
Right? Yeah, well,
That's good
how,
advice.
yeah, and yes, that's great advice. And how, just so that you know, how we are set up to work is that when they encounter difficult questions and or situations that they don't understand, they refer that to myself and others like me who are formerly incarcerated to get a sense of what is this individual actually asking, or what does he really need, or how do you go about helping out with that situation. Yeah, they bring those questions to
That's
us, and we give the guidance, and then they go back to work on it.
That's good. Yeah, that's it, right.
Anything else? Without a doubt, would you say that they're most likely doing the right thing when it comes to the filing? They're preparing and helping of incarcerated folks file these remedies. Would you say that they are on the right path and doing things the right way because they are operating and doing what they do based off of my knowledge and my experience? Would you validate that David Simpson knows what the hell he's doing when it comes to administrative remedies? And so they definitely are on the right path with that. So anybody who says to them, like, so one person suggested that, they don't really know what the hell they're doing, would that be an honest statement?
Yeah, listen, guys, I mean, I can only speak for myself. This gentleman there, he knows what he's doing. I have proven, I've seen it, and it's the right person to listen to, the right person to go to, the right person to take advice from, and the right person for you guys to have as a teacher, a mentor, or advisor, or whatever way you guys look at him. I don't think anyone knows it all, but he sure like hell will try to guide you the right way, and he will give you the best substance, the best tools you have that he has for whatever project, whatever you're doing, whatever you're taking on. And as far as the remedies helping, it's a great thing that you guys are doing, because keep in mind, in there, inmates have no one in there to do it for them. So a service like that you guys providing can go a long way.
Yeah, so it's not related to like the remedy project, but like I just wanted to ask you, like, how was like life after you got out of jail? Because like it's hard to adjust, right? How was it for you?
It was easy for me only because it's only 4 months, right? It was very short sentence, and I did not have there wasn't any incident in there that really left a negative to affect me where I had to readjust myself, not having the hot water, the light for whatever time. There were a couple of times when they would have what you call such everybody had to lay on the floor, and that was kind of dramatic. But outside of that, I left it behind. When I walk out today, I left the memories behind. I kept the good things with me. I kept meeting him, and the friendship we were able to develop. I kept playing table tennis and winning a couple of times and losing a couple of times, but I kept those are good times for me. And the bad things, whatever I see, whatever, I just left it behind. So once I get back out there, it was just a meeting there. Take a good shower, eat a good meal, and just continue back with it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, as my friend, so I'm glad that he did well with that. And like he said, with the guidance that I was able to give him because of my years of experience with dealing and seeing everybody else's issues, right? So remember, I started, Gary Opala taught me remedies, I think all the way back started teaching me back in 2012. By 13, I was doing it. I was like a master, and I've been doing it all along. And I've worked with everyone, right? It doesn't matter what, from billionaires to drug lords to drug addicts to, it doesn't matter. Every spectrum, I've dealt with people and their issues and the things that they suffered. So by the time I got to Erron, it was like, oh, this is easy, right, brother?
And that's what you said. It's easy. That's what you said. Easy. It's easy.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
brother. This is what you got to do, and you just do this here and you do that here. And I was able to lay out a platform for him a road for him to follow, and his 4 months was a breeze, right? If I didn't do that for him, it would have been rough because he had, that anxiety issue. And he was being in one of the worst places you could be and being treated horribly. But that was easy. And I led with that to say that there is the exception. Okay? The rule is that people, especially when they do the extensive amounts of time, 2 years plus, they are scarred for life, right? And there is no real form of help in dealing with the horrors that you experience within the prison, right? Today, people do mental health, and when they do mental health and they think about incarcerated people, they usually like to focus on the things that individuals might suffer before they got incarcerated. Also, what happened that caused you to commit this crime, and and that type of stuff. And that's where they focus and try to help the individual heal with the things of the past, which I would say is good, but no one is focusing. And our board member Valeria Saladino and myself, where we help folks deal with the things that you suffered while incarcerated, that the trauma that being in prison itself causes. I think that folks are going to need help with that, right? Because and the majority, they do 2 years plus. I'm telling you, Scott. Now I did 10, so does that mean I'm Scott? Well, I have a little memory issue. I am again, for some reason, the exception, right? I didn't really, and people like Erron and others wonder how the hell you come out so clean from prison after doing 10 years, falsely convicted, and seeing all the traumas and helping everybody else with their trauma and all that stuff. How did you survive, right? And so I have 2 things. I have the Most High. One of the things that I did was studied what we call God and whether He exists, and religion and all the good things that surround that. I focus my time on the majority of my time on that, and then fighting for myself and others in prison through the remedy process. I fought for myself in court and through the remedy process. And I believe that focusing and channeling myself into that, kind of gave me some, with that and the Most High, I would say, gave me a kind of a buffer, right? So most of the things that these guys suffered and, kind of like bounced off of me, right? That's why I could explain the horrors of people in those videos that happened to them, and as you can see, it hasn't affected me, right? But many others have. We have, Anna knows, another mentor that we once had with us who did remedies and helped folks who were incarcerated. And he came on board with us here at the Remedy Project for a little bit. And then when he started to see those letters and other things that you guys are witnesses from folks who are incarcerated, oh, that triggered him, and he had to leave.
He would like work all night long
Yeah.
and make students stay up late with him and try to work on things.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So and that there is the norm. Today he's not fully healed from his experience. And he did. You met him. I don't think you remember him even if I told you his name, but you've met the dude a couple of times. He was in pre-trial in MDC.
He was in pretrial for like 17 years.
17 years this guy did.
17.
At
In-
MDC
At
Brooklyn.
MDC Brooklyn. You did 4. He did 17.
Yeah. I think he briefly had rickets, which is a disease you get from not getting enough vitamin D from the sun because he was there. So you can't go outside at MDC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
That's a lot.
Right? So just know that the folks that you are helping, the majority of the folks that you are helping and what you do are being literally, MDC Brooklyn is a max. It is a max facility. The majority of the places where the folks are housed is what we call the shoe. Right? When you hear guys say, oh, they got me in the shoe and it's so bad and it's horrible and I want to get out, can you help me get back to general population? Well, in MDC Brooklyn, it's really like no general population. Everybody lives in the shoe. And then they have a shoe in the shoe. Right? So it's horrible. I might be laughing, but this thing is horrible, right? This is what's going on. And these are just what you guys are doing is extremely important, extremely needed. And don't let anybody tell you anything different. Don't let anybody break your spirit. You can hear it from Erron. It is valid. What you're doing is valid, 100% and needed. I would think it's about time to start to wrap it up if anybody has nothing else. And if no one has anything else, Erron, you can leave them with some closing words and.
Well, again, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I remember telling you at one point we were talking in the cell, and I said to you, I hope one day I'll be able to do back something for you as much as you did for me, because you really helped me out while I was in there. You made my 4 months a vacation, and I'm happy. And today, I had a very important appointment that I had to cancel. This was more important. Being here to see what I'm seeing on your behalf was more important than my appointment, and I did that for you. So it just come to pass that I kept my word that I'll do anything that's possible once you call on me. And that said, again, with you young folks who's trying to do what he's doing, don't give up. Sometimes the way you respond to things, it may not be like, but don't let the outside world, or don't let whoever you're working with, don't let them discourage you. Keep your focus. Sometimes we have bad days. As we would say, we get up on the wrong side of the bed. Stay focused, and you're doing a good thing. I know that, again, had it been for him, my experience would have been a lot different for the 4 months that I was there. And because of him, my experience was great. So just picture that somebody's in there for 5 years and they're looking out for somebody like you or him too. Just give them encouraging word to file something on their part. They need it. So just keep pressing on. Don't give up. Yeah, don't give up. They need whatever they're getting from the outside. Because they are not getting it on the inside. It's not there for them. So when a letter comes from there to here or to wherever you guys are, and something goes back to them, it brings a smile to their face. Yeah, you give them hope.
I appreciate you, Erron. Thanks for coming through.
Anytime.
Whoa, whoa.